Wow. Okay, so my locals came up. That's the best charity shop find I've had in a long time. Retro Ghetto. Hi everybody, welcome to this week's Ghetto vlog. And what a week it's been already. I am still in the process of recovering from yesterday. This past 36 hours have been an absolute madness. It's probably going to take me a couple more days to recover. I appreciate I'm being somewhat vague. I would love to discuss it with you guys a little bit more, but it's going to form next Wednesday's video. So whatever you do, do not miss this one. It's the reason there wasn't a video last week for you guys, right? Yeah, because it's taken a lot of filming and it's going to be a lot of editing. So a lot's going into it. You guys always support me here watching the Sunday vlog, so I'd appreciate it if you could make sure you check out Wednesday's video, because yeah, it's been a lot. But enough about that, right? Let's concentrate on the here and the now. We've still got a lot planned for this week. It is Mrs. Ghetto's birthday, so tonight we are going out for a nice meal, and tomorrow we're going shopping. There's a couple of places she wants to check out in Leicester, so you know while I'm in Leicester, right? That means Super Game Shack, Leicester Vintage Toy Shop, the CEX. On the way back, I'll check out that awesome CEX that I found when I was with Kev. What's it called now? I've forgotten the name of it. It's on the screen now. But yeah, loads to be coming. And then later on in the week, we're also going out somewhere that I've never been before. And there is a CEX there as well. So we'll have a brand new CEX to go on hunt, all the new charity shops, etc, and everything else we can find in that local area. So yeah, loads to be doing, man. Loads to be catching up with. And we're going to kick off the vlog with a bang, because I've got a couple of parcels here that need opening, so let's get into that. Right, okay, let's get into it then. What better way to start the vlog, right, than opening a couple of parcels. I'm going to move this out of the way. Right, okay, so this first one is an eBay purchase. Some may say a stupid purchase, but we shall get to that in a moment. So this is a game that I've been wanting to add to my collection for a couple of years now, at least. It was always ridiculously expensive, and I never wanted to pay the price for it. There's a couple of times I almost pulled the trigger when it was like cheaper than market value, but I'm glad I didn't, because in recent times the value of this game has fell through the floor. So yeah, I feel for anybody that paid full price for this. At one point this game was going for like 60-65 pounds. I paid 20 for this, and you can actually get it cheaper. It's even gone down cheaper in CEX now. The reason I bought this one was it was a little bit of an impulse purchase. I saw it on eBay. I was surprised by how much it had dropped. I knew it was dropping. I didn't know it dropped this much. And this was actually a charity auction. So I just thought, you know what? If I'm going to buy it, I'd rather give the money to a charity than CEX or anybody else. So let's get into it then. It's well packaged, to be fair. So this is well, it's really well packaged. So this is a Nintendo Wii game. So as you can imagine, £60 plus is a lot of money for a Nintendo Wii game, right? If I can get in it. Okay, that game is Klonoa. So this is what I guess you would describe as like a 2.5D side-scrolling platformer. As you'll be seeing on screen now, there are sort of 3D elements to it, and it's not just a standard left to right. You can sort of add a bit of depth. You can go sort of backwards and forwards within this game. This is, I believe, a remake of the original, which came out on the PlayStation in 1997, if my mind serves me right, on the original PlayStation. Klonoa Daughter Phantomile, I've never really know how to pronunciate that one. This was released as part of its 10-year anniversary in an attempt to sort of like rejuvenate the franchise. Now, my understanding was that this was very well acclaimed by critics when it came out, and everyone was sort of a fan of it because it's been sort of like revamped with the sort of updated graphics, and there's been like some extras added to the game for its Wii launch. However, it did not do very well in terms of sales. Commercially, it was a bit of a failure, and I think that's what led to Namco actually cancelling the reboot of this franchise. And we never saw this game again until recently on the Nintendo Switch. Where are we? Here we go. When they released the first and second game in the Fantasy Reverie series. Now that takes me on to as to why I think it was a bit of a stupid purchase. Because, like I say, I've got it on the Switch. It's just that I've always wanted it on the Wii. I can't even explain it. It's just one of the stupid collector things. Because I always wanted the game and it was so expensive. Now I think it's a good price and affordable. It's like, I couldn't not buy it, right? I just felt like it was a glaring omission from my Wii collection. A game that I coveted for so long in this format. So yeah, let me know in the comment section whether you think it was a ridiculous purchase or not. But I'm a collector, right? I mean, common sense gone out the window. I could just sell all this stuff and emulate in an arcade cab, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, I'm happy to be adding this to my collection. And I'd say it was purchased from a charity as well. So the money has gone to a good cause. So that was Klonoa, and I'm really enjoying collecting for the Wii recently. I keep saying that I'm going to be having a Wii day soon, and I am going to be doing a big Wii marathon. There's so many Wii games that I want to play. So yeah, we will get to that, and that might form part of that. Next up, we have this parcel here. This is from Brad. Shout out to Brad, right? Massive fan of the channel. Sorry, massive friend of the channel, I meant to say. I don't know if he's a fan, you'll have to ask him. Big friend of the channel. The most generous man out there, right? The most generous man, not only with myself, I've seen lots of other content creators and other people like in the toy community, especially, that Brad's always sort of sending and donating things to. He also does a lot of work for charity and just an all-round top bloke. Every now and again, Brad will message me and he'll say something like, "Oh, I've sent you something," or "Do you need this?" And I'll have to say to him, "I do need it, but don't send it me, don't buy it for me." And lo and behold, he does it anyway, because, you know, that's just Brad. So massive, massive shout out to the legend that is Brad. And if you know, you know. Right, what have we got here then? This is interesting. What is this? So, Brad said he was sending me a couple of games. Now, I don't know if he's put them in this box, or if this box is... Right, I'm assuming he's just used this box, right? Because this is Martian Panic, a Nintendo Switch bundle. I've actually seen these in B&M, like usually like £10–15, and actually was tempted to buy it once just because of the price. Comes with a gun and all that stuff, but I don't think that's what he sent me, because yeah, he said he was sending me something else. No, it's just the box. Okay, right, let's get into it then. Right. Knowing Brad, there's going to be other things in here. On top is one of the game. No? I don't know what's going on here. What's he sent me? Right, okay, here we go. There's something else in the box. We're going to get to that, because, yeah. So, Brad messaged me, like I say, about a couple of Mega Drive games. I said I don't own them ones. I told him not to buy them. Next thing I know, he's sending them to me. So that's Brad for you, as we've already said. So, first one is EA Hockey. I mean, I'm just going for as many Mega Drive games as I can get my hands on, to be honest, and I think Brad probably knows that, so shout out to Brad for that one. EA Hockey. I've got good memories of playing hockey games. Me and my brother used to just play to try and get into the fist fights. I don't think neither of us really knew or were too interested in hockey. We just loved the fact that you can get into a fist fight, drop your helmet, and knock 7 bells out of each other without your mum telling you off, so that's that. This is the one I'm excited about. This is, yeah, really happy with this one. So this is Muhammad Ali's heavyweight boxing, and if for nothing else, I want this on display. Look at that artwork, man. That's going to look so good on the Mega Drive wall. So this, I think, was like a 1993 release, 92. And you can play as either Muhammad Ali or I think 9 other fictional boxers. And in this game, it's quite good. It was almost like ahead of its time, where there was like a career mode. So you can start as either Muhammad Ali or one of the other 9 randomers. I don't know why you wouldn't play as Muhammad Ali, but there you go. And you sort of start ranked 10th, and then you have to work your way up to be the champion. And yeah, definitely one I'm intrigued to play. I think what else set this apart from other boxing games at the time was that it was like you could use the full 360 of the ring. It wasn't just like 2 people standing on a screen, like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, right? This was like, you could actually move your character around, and there was various different like punches that you could throw. So yeah, but I mean, all that aside, that artwork, Shout out to the legend, R.I.P. Muhammad Ali, and the legend that is Brad as well, right? But there is something else in here, so let's see what that is. Oh, Brad! Right, okay, so Brad has put in here Monster Hunter Rise. Right, okay, so Brad had the find of all finds a few weeks ago. He put it on Instagram and he sent me a message. Charity shops are not dead, guys. They might be on like life support. It's getting harder and harder to find games in them, don't get me wrong. Brad found 3 Switch games, I think for like £1 or £2 each, and there's some decent titles in there. I think it was like Darksiders 2, there was this, and something else. All quite good titles. I remember him saying to me actually that he tried to play this but it wasn't his cup of tea, which I understand because from what I can gather about the Monster Hunter series, you've got to be prepared to put a lot of time into these games, right? I know they can take hundreds of hours to complete, but Monster Hunter Rise has always intrigued me. I've heard good things about this one, and I've heard that Rise is a bit more accessible than the others. It's not as daunting to jump into. I do actually own one on the Xbox One, I think. But I've always thought to myself, oh, do I really want to be jumping into this game? Have I got hundreds of hours to spend? I certainly haven't. It's a bit like that Football Manager effect. Like, I just don't want to get involved because I just can't commit to it. But this is the one that I want to play and I'm intrigued by. And I think Brad said that he played it and he couldn't get into it, like I say. So he's obviously decided to send it to me. Such is the generosity of Brad. So massive shout out to you, sir. You are a legend, and it's gone to a good home. So much appreciated. So yeah, some nice additions here to start the week. As I say, we're going out for a family meal soon for Mrs. RG's birthday, and then I'm going to try and get some sleep, man. I need to recover from yesterday. And then, hopefully, next time you see me, we should be hitting up some shops in Leicester, hopefully, finding as much great stuff as I did last time. Because last time me and Kev went to Leicester, we found some really good stuff in the CEXs, Game Shack, Beaumont Lees, that's the other CEX store, Beaumont Lees, so I'll be going there on the way back as well. So yeah, man, I'll see you all then in a bit.
Happy birthday, dear. Retro Ghetto.
Okay, so we have made it to the city of Leicester. I've been here a few times in recent vlogs, so you guys know the drill. Super Game Shack, CEX, Leicester Vintage Toy Shop. It's been a while since I've gone there. They only open 3 days a week now, but I'm pretty sure they're open today. So yeah, man, lots of good hunting ahead. Let's do it. Okay, so whilst Mrs. RG is busy in another shop, hold on. What's going on here? Okay, so just coming from Super Game Shack on the way to CEX. You might have noticed I didn't film as much as I normally do in Super Game Shack, and that's because they've had a break-in early hours of this morning. I'll discuss it more when we get back to the 3.0. Rich was kind enough to let me in, even though it was short, there was forensics being taken. And I picked up a couple of games, which I'm really happy with. And even though they've had a break-in and had some stuff stolen, he still did me an amazing price. So that speaks testament about Rich and his character. We'll discuss all that, and I'll show you what I picked up, obviously, when we get back to the 3.0. But yeah, we are now on the way to CEX. So let's hope I can find as much good stuff in here as I did last time. Less and less PS3 essentials on the shelves, and more people collecting them. So I should have collected the whole set and then made people aware of how cool they look, right? But yeah, I don't think there's any in here that I need. Let's see what else there is. Right, okay, so CEX had a nice find. You could probably guess what it was based on the video footage. Now I am heading to Leicester Vintage Toy Shop. I say it's been a while since I've been here. Now they've reduced their opening days. I think they're only open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I think. But yeah, always enjoy visiting Leicester Vintage Toy Shop. So yeah, let's take a look, see what they've got. I know they have a lot of Lego minifigures, so it'd be nice to add to the Roman army, right? But I'm not holding my breath on that one because these Roman figures seem to get snapped up. I don't think I'm the only person army building out there, but yeah, man, let's go and take a look.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
God, man, are you?
Yeah, good to see you. That's it. Peace.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, as featured on the latest toy shop on tour. I'll put a link below, make sure you check it out. So there's all the good stuff behind the counter, yeah?
All the messes behind the camera.
Yeah. Everywhere I go, people say film around the mess.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
Vintage Toy Shop and Toy Shop on Tour. We're currently in the middle of a production meeting, enjoying our coffee, and keep watching Retro Ghetto, because the lovely Callum's come to see us. But we're busy planning next year's Toy Shop on Tour, which you should go and watch.
Absolutely. Okay, so the temperature and the light are both fading and I'm still in Leicester City Centre. I've left Mrs. RG at Zara because, yeah, if you know, you know, that ain't going to be a quick one. I've come out under the pretense that I'm grabbing us both a Five Guys milkshake, but in reality, I'm going to quickly go to the second CEX location. Kev actually showed me this little spot. They don't really do many games, but there are a few behind the counter. This is where I found that Call of Duty big box special edition last time I came, so definitely worth popping my head in and taking a look, right? So yeah, flying to that location now, then Five Guys, and hopefully we're going to have enough time after to go Beaumont Lees. It all depends on how quick Mrs. RG is in the last few clothing shops, so probably not. So I'm just in Five Guys waiting on my shakes, and yeah, I went to CEX, got myself a nice retro game, and also found out a bit of information. Obviously there's been a lot of changes at CEX recently. They're pricing games with and without manuals, or listing games with and without manuals, should I say. But had a good conversation with the guy that I'm guessing is the manager in there, and yeah, he gave me a bit of information which will probably help fellow collectors. So we'll discuss that with everything else, right, when I show you guys what I get. When I get back, it's very loud and noisy in here. We'll be heading back real soon, so yeah man, see you soon. Right, okay, me standing up could go badly. If I whack my head on Master Chief's Corner, at least it'll make good TV, right? Yeah, I'm back from what was a good but a very long day in Leicester. As I say, we went as part of Mrs. RG's celebrations. We had some nice food, did a lot of clothes shopping, etc. for her. But obviously, guys, I go anywhere, I'm going to fit in some game hunting, right? And that's what we managed to do. I've come away with some really nice games. The first one, I think you guys probably would have seen on the footage, right? You saw me pick this up in the first CEX location. That's the Batman Arkham Knight Special Edition. Yeah, I mean, it's just a really nice sleeve, steelbook, and for £4, I was never going to leave this one behind. I had a quick look on eBay. These are selling anywhere between sort of £10 and £23 for steelbook collectors. So, yeah, listen, there's a lot being said about current changes at CEX, and I will talk about the with and without manuals a little bit later on in this video. But one of the other negatives that I'm noticing from a collector's point of view with CEX is that they're starting to increase prices on things like this. There's not this one in particular, of course, but I'm seeing more and more special editions, steelbooks being marked up, whereas previously they were just a standard price. I think they're sort of taking collectors to task, so to speak, right? There's a lot more things I think they're paying attention to, and like I said, there's a lot of steelbooks, special editions that I've noticed in very recent times that have gone up in price as opposed to the standard edition. But it is what it is. You're still going to find the odd one. This was just £4 standard price, so happy to add that. And then we went to the second CEX location. Now, it's a very small shop, but I have found a couple of decent things in there. And today was no exception. I managed to find a PS1 game. That's not very often I had PlayStation 1. But this just called to me, man, because these are two games I grew up playing. Absolutely love them, right? And that is Bubble Bobble, also featuring Rainbow Islands. So a fantastic collection of games. Bubble Bobble dates back to like 1987. This was the 1996 PlayStation 1 release, of course. I thought this was decent for £12. Really nice condition, no cracks in the box or anything. eBay would suggest sort of 25 to 30 quid, so I think I did okay, but like I say, man, just Bubble Bobble and Rainbow Islands are just both games that have real nostalgia for me. As a child, I remember playing these. I can't remember on what console, but I definitely spent a lot of time on Bubble Bobble especially, and that music, man, it just brings back a lot of memories. So yeah, when I saw this, I just thought I'd have to grab it, and it was in there, speaking to the staff, that they gave me a little bit more information around the with and without manual. So now is a good time for me to address it, I suppose. If you don't know, if you've been living under a rock for this past week, I think every man and his dog's discussed it at this point, right? That CEX have started on the majority of Retro to now label whether it is with or without a manual. It's something I've been asking them to do for years. I actually made a video once upon a time sort of suggesting how I would improve CEX, and I still stand by most of that video. I'll try and remember to post a link to it below. And they've finally done so, which on the face of it is great. It will pose certain issues, which I'm sure we'll all get to over time, in terms of what's going to become of the games that don't have manuals, right? And obviously the big question is, what are they going to do with the pricing structure? So either will games with a manual go up, or will games without a manual go down, or both? Now, before I give you the bit of information I've received today, my thought is, from a moral point of view, excuse me, so if you're going to bring morality into it, they should leave a complete game the same price, and without a manual should go down in price. I mean, you know, I think somebody used the analogy on my comment section before when I mentioned about this news breaking. If you bought a car with 3 wheels, you'd expect a discount, and the same kind of applies, right? When you buy a game for a certain price, you expect it to be complete. However, I don't think they'll do that. CEX, I don't think have gone through all this hassle, all these man hours, and X amount of money it's cost the company so that they can lose money by marking down games that don't have a manual. Unless there is another train of thought here. They are losing a lot of money on postage because the amount of games they're sending out and they're then having to return. So it's effectively they're losing postage each time that happens, right? Because games don't have a manual. So there is a small chance that could happen. But if I was to guess, I would assume the games with a manual will go up. Maybe both. I think maybe both would be a happy medium, because then collectors aren't too fussed about a manual, rather have it cheaper. I think everything's got a price the way in which I collect. Maybe that would be the happy medium. Time will tell. However, what I was told today, the information was that there is going to be price changes, no surprise, and that's coming into effect on the 9th. I don't know exactly what day Sunday is that this vlog's going out, but I think there's still a couple of days. So maybe if there's something you're umming and ahhing about, or you're contemplating maybe pulling the trigger on something, rather than waiting to see whether it goes up or down in price, yeah, the 9th apparently is a day when the price increase or decrease will take effect. So do with that information what you will. It's not gospel, but it did come from what I assume is a manager at a CEX branch. So yeah, time will tell with that one, right? I think overall, to some extent, it's a positive. But yeah, I think there's always going to be a negative in any change when it comes to collecting, right? There's always going to be pluses and negatives. I don't know what that does in terms of CEX lotteries for people going forwards. I've actually got a couple of boxes I mentioned on last week's video, right? I had a big order come in, so that was placed before the changes. One of those boxes has arrived. I'm still waiting for the other one. I want to open them together. I think because of the new year, bank holidays and everything, it got delayed. It didn't get sent out for like 3 or 4 days. And I just got a message today saying it's now sort of in the network. So that should be with me very soon. So that could be the final CEX lottery I ever do on the channel, right? But it is going to be going out for banks. It's a couple of very nice pieces. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are on the manual without manual changes at CEX and how you think it will ultimately lead to prices going up or down. But yeah, that was... I guess this is now without manual. Right, anyway, and that takes me to... I'll pick my manual up. I was going to be all cool and leave it on the floor, but I was worried it was going to be creased. And then that takes me to Game Shack. I loosely spoke about this whilst I was out and about. Yeah, I got there and it was all like... It's like in an arcade and it was all cordoned off with tables and... I didn't know what was going on. And then I could see the door was smashed, put 2 and 2 together. They'd had a break-in, sadly, early that morning. Rich was there, the owner. And he was telling me somebody come in, smashed it with a metal bar, the glass, and then proceeded to break in. One can only assume, you know, some sort of drug addict. I don't think it was a mastermind of a criminal, because if you knew what you were doing, there was a lot of stuff in that shop of high value, but they only took cash. That's all they were interested in. I think it was cash that was taken from the premises. No sort of like high-end Super Nintendo, Mega Drive, you know, and all the other good stuff that was in the glass cabinets, largely left untouched. unless they were disturbed and they're only in there for a short time, got the cash and left. Either way, you know, it's obviously it's disappointing, man. It's hard out there as it is for any privately owned small business, especially within the video game and toy world, right? We want to see those businesses thrive so that we can all continue to enjoy them going forwards on the high street. You know, there's not enough of them on the high street as it is. So for people to be doing things like that, it's just, you know, deplorable, really. There's not really many words I can say about it. But shout out to Rich. He was still in good spirits, and he let me in. He let me sort of come past the broken glass, come into the shop. I had a good chat with him, and you know, he let me sort of peruse his shelves. And even with all that going on, he gave me an amazing deal. Fantastic, fantastic price on these 2 games that I picked up. So I say it anyway, right? I always say it. If you're ever in the Leicester area, make sure you go and check them out. But now more so than ever, right? Go and check them out, help them out, spend some money in that fantastic shop, because, yeah, it's, you know, it's a whole new door. It's being shut for a couple of days whilst all that gets sorted out, and all the other associated negativity that comes with some idiot that decided to break in. But anyway, on to the positives. So the first game that I picked up was a Mega Drive game I've been after for quite some time, and that is Empire of Steel. So this is a 1992 horizontal shooter. It's sort of set in a late 19th century alternate universe, I guess, or an alternate world. It's heavily sort of influenced by steampunk, as you'll be seeing on screen now. This game came to my attention because it's recently had a re-release, I think Limited Run Games. I don't know if it's actually been sent out yet, but I know it was announced. They sort of like re-released this game for Nintendo Switch and maybe other consoles. And I was potentially going to order it, but then I thought, you know what? I'm going for a full subset of shmups on the Mega Drive. And yeah, I wanted the original one, really. And for some reason, I've just never picked this one up. And it's still cheap. As far as shmups go for 16-bit genre of consoles, era of consoles, this is a very cheap one, right? It's like, I don't know, I think it's like £16 or something at CEX, which compared to a lot of the others that are now 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds, yeah, just a glaring omission, really. And with this now added, I don't need many more shmups for the Mega Drive, which is great news because, yeah, it's not an easy set to collect for at this point. But yeah, massive shout out to Rich for this one. And then that takes me to what I think is my find of the day. Now, I have a few things that I say a lot on this channel. I always pick up games if I've never seen them before, if they've got some kind of sleeve cover. Another thing which helps my influence is if they are very low in stock. So this one, I'd never seen it, it has a sleeve cover, and there was only 2 in stock at CEX. I looked at it long and hard, I thought I'm going to have to buy it. And that is Battle vs Chess. So I've had a quick look at gameplay on this one on the way back from Leicester, and from what I can see, it's basically chess, but maybe with sort of like medieval themes and the odd mini game thrown in here and there, and obviously some elaborate sort of action sequences when you take the opponent's chess piece. Now, and it's not necessarily one I'll be playing. Whilst I know how to play chess, I know how the pieces move, I'm not skilled in it at all. I don't have any sort of specific strategies. It's like saying you know how to play football because you know how to kick a ball through a net, right? It's not my thing. I wish I could profess to be good at it and have that strategic mind, but just never something I put any time into. But there's beautiful artwork on this, right? Let's open it up and see what's inside, because it looks like one of those sleeve covers which opens from the front. Beautiful as well, look, embossed. I don't know if it's coming through on camera, like the characters are in gloss. I always love that attention to detail. Yeah, and it's got like a Velcro piece here. And then it opens up. Not really too much artwork inside, it's more sort of making you aware of what's going on. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a German release. I think that's what this is here, right? So it is PAL. And that would explain its rarity. As I said, there's only 2 copies of this in stock in the entire CEX. And if you're looking on eBay, this game's like £35. It is available also on the PlayStation 3. There's like 3 copies in stock at CEX. And also on the Wii. There's no copies in stock on the Wii. But like I say, I'm pretty sure this was a German release, hence it's sort of like scarcity, if that's a word. I think I've just made that up. But yeah, Battle, Chess, just, you know me guys. I love collecting for the 360. I love collecting a sleeve cover. So this is right up my street. And like I said, shout out to Rich, right? With everything that had gone on, he was very hospitable, did me a fantastic price, and yeah, I can't thank him enough for helping me out during what was obviously not the best of mornings for him. But yeah, that was it. That was my Leicester trip. Had a great day. But the hunt don't stop there. We're heading out tomorrow. I don't even know where we're going now. I forgot. I've got a family commitment. But I know that I'll be going close to a CEX I don't think I've ever been to before. So you know we're going to be calling in there. Hopefully a couple of charity shops along the way as well, right? So yeah, man. I'll see you all tomorrow and we'll do a bit more hunting, shall we? In a bit.
Retro Ghetto.
Okay, so I am in Bromsgrove. I've been visiting family nearby. There is a CEX here. I don't know if I've ever been to this CEX before. I've got a little man with me.
Hi.
And a few charity shops. So yeah, man, you know the drill. If you go anywhere, you have to come and have a look, right? So let's see what we find. The woman said she's going to look in the back room for games. It's been ages. I'm hoping that means something's coming. Oh, she's forgot. Oh, you found
Colleague Steve, still having a look.
Oh, right, okay.
All right.
Brilliant. I'll have a see if there's any that I need, darling.
Okay.
Thank you. Ah, there's some more. Brilliant. Thanks, lovely.
All right.
Okay, first charity shop. Picked up a couple of games. Nothing special, but definitely worth grabbing. Next up, British Heart Foundation. What have you got? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I got a little army figure.
Got an army figure, so he's happy, bless him. Okay, so initially I was a little bit disappointed. I didn't think there was anything for me. And then I found a nice couple of finds, literally as I was about to leave. So yeah, worked out all right. A couple more charity shops. Then on the way back, we're calling up my locals. And yeah, I'll see you back at the 3.0. Wow. Okay, so my locals came up. That's the best charity shop find I've had in a long time. Let's go back and take a look, shall we? Okay, so hold on, quick sip of coffee. I'm not sure that's a sip. I need it, man. I'm still recovering from the video that's coming out Wednesday, but anyway. Okay, so as you can see by the smile on my face, I'm still buoyed by the amazing charity shop find that I had. Before I get to that, what I'm going to do is obviously discuss the other things that I found. So I visited Bromsgrove. It's like one strip of sort of shoppage, a small little town centre, if you can call it that. Loads of charity shops. There wasn't a lot in them. I did ask in every single one, you got any games? And one of the women said to me, look, we never get any games. If we do, they don't stand the shelf. There's a CEX down the road. People take them straight there. I played a bit dumb. I was like, oh, right, okay. So yeah, there's slim pickings in the charity shop. I did pick a couple of games up. I think these were 50 pence each. First one I picked up was Top Spin 4. I did used to enjoy playing Top Spin, I think on the PS3, but the reason I picked this one up is I absolutely love Wii Sports. Love it to death. And tennis is probably my favourite. I was the king of the backhands, honestly. Like, when we used to play with my mates, we used to have to clear an area because I was so like violent with my backhand. A few of my mates have caught a stray right back fist on occasion. But I just thought, I was intrigued as to how this would play on the Wii, if it would sort of play the same, if it would be as fun. So yeah, I'm still going to have that Wii day, right? It's going to turn into a Wii week, the way I keep talking about how many Wii games I want to play. But for 50p, I wasn't going to leave it. Same with this one. Call of Duty, I decided to scan it because you never know with Call of Duty games. There's so many and there's so weird ones that are worth money. So the reason I picked this one up, again, 50p, it's the Game of the Year edition. And it's one of them strange scannings at CEX that comes up with like an old code. So they used to sell this for £8. There's no new code. I think it probably just counts as Call of Duty 4 now, right? So not worth trading in currently. But I figured for 50p, do you know what? I doubt the version I own is the Game of the Year edition. So I just figured it was worth picking up, right? I mean, £1 all in. What are you going to do? So then from there, went to CEX. Now, as I told you guys in the CEX footage, I wasn't immediately impressed. There wasn't really anything that caught my eye. There's a few bits behind the counter, nothing special, a couple of bits of retro, but yeah. And then I sort of thought, you know what, I'm probably going to leave empty-handed. No essentials, again. Not having any essentials this week. That's mad, right? And then on the Xbox 360 section, I found a couple of nice titles, right? So, Halo Combat Evolved. Obviously, I already own it, but the sleeve cover variant, I left this behind at a car boot not too long ago. And I remember thinking, like, I thought I had it, and I didn't pick it up for that reason, and then I don't have it. So I remember being annoyed, thinking like, hopefully I'll run across it one day. And today's that day. It's a standard price, £3, Halo Combat Evolved. But you guys know why I picked this up, right? For the sleeve cover. The sleeve cover's not in mint condition, and I'm peeling this sticker off now, and it looks like there's already been a sticker there. That looks to me like someone's already bought this from CEX. So this might be a placeholder until I get a better one. If I find a better one on my travels, I'll give this away on the channel. Because yeah, it's not in mint condition by any means, but I think for £3, not a bad little find. And then, I really have to find this. You don't see these too often. So I've been speaking a lot recently about wanting to get the full Pro Evolution Soccer run that came out on the 360. This is the penultimate release, I believe. PES 2017. £5. I envisage this to probably go up in value, to be honest, over time. You don't see many copies of this. I won't go as far as to say it's uncommon, but by this point, most people were buying this on the next generation of consoles, right? I think PES 2018 is the latest one that it went to. And that was at one point like a 30-something pound game. It's now dropped to like 15 or 18 pounds, so that'll be like the last one I buy. But for a £5, I thought this was worth picking up. Nice condition. And I'm looking forward to playing this, because I don't know if I ever played 2017, and it's nice to check out that roster, and just perfect on the kiosk, right? When I have friends over, stick on a Pro Evo, and yeah, man, just like I always say, this is my youth, right? I spent, I don't know how many hours, days, weeks, months playing these games. So yeah, I was happy to find that. One of the harder ones to tick off the list, because I'm hoping to find them all in person just to make it more fun. And then, right, so I'm happy enough with that. We've come back, and I've decided to go to my local charity shop. So it's on the way home. Now, in my local charity shop, it depends who's working. I used to be allowed to just go in the back room whenever, right? I walk in, say hi, do you mind if I nip in? Yeah, no problem, go on, have a look. Over recent times, things changed. I don't know if policies and procedures changed, that kind of thing. But certain staff members said, oh no, they go and look for me, great. Other staff members aren't as concerned and they're just like, yeah, go in, mate, right? Today was a, yeah, go in, mate moment. So I've gone in the back room and I found some absolute gold. Probably my best finds in a charity shop since that Wii U bundle that we had. So we'll get to it, so bear with me. First one, a couple of PlayStation 1 games. Always nice to find PS1 games, right? Especially when they're not smashed up. First one is The Adventures of Monkey Hero. I know absolutely nothing about this game. You guys know more than me simply by the video footage you'll be seeing on screen now, because this is not a game I have any experience with whatsoever. Only that it says it's combat of 45 different enemies, 14 unique bosses, over 2,500 screens of dungeons, castles and terrain to explore. A 1999 game. Yeah, so that's the first one, Monkey Hero, and these are all complete, I believe. And then a game which hit me in the nostalgia, man. I always thought as a kid I had this on the Super Nintendo, and I still thought as an adult I had it on the Super Nintendo until recently. I was looking for it and I don't own it. I don't know what's happened. No one's been in here. I'm not accusing anybody, right? Because no one comes in this room and no one's broke in to steal one game. But I don't know what's happened to this game, so I'm going to have to repurchase it. However, this is basically like a reimagining of it, or just a later release on the PlayStation 1. So it was Mickey Mania on the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, and this is Mickey's Wild Adventure. So this iteration, I believe, was released in '94, and it's just based on the classic cartoon. It starts as Steamboat Willie and works its way through all the classic Mickey Mouse cartoons. You usually only see it in platinum. If you look on eBay, 90% of them are like all the platinum ones. I'm not really bothered. I've got a small platinum collection. But like I say, in my mind, this game was always Super Nintendo, but it isn't. When I looked at this box, it just brought back so many memories. I must have had this as a kid, and this is the version I remember playing. I can specifically remember playing the Steamboat Willie, that entry level, and just one that I really want to play again, just to get that kind of like nostalgia kick, right? So I was very happy to find that. So that is the two games that I found in the back room. PlayStation 1, nice. One of the other items I've actually left in the main house because I'm planning on watching it later, but you'll be seeing it now. That is the Only Fools and Horses box set. Now, like most people, right, I'm a big Only Fools and Horses fan. CEX sell this box set for £28 and they give £14 trade-in. So that was a nice find. Happy with that. It's all there. I've gone through, like, there's loads of discs, like 28 discs or something. No, I'm saying 28 because it was £28. I don't know, there's a lot of discs. But a lot of discs, they're all there. So that'll be £14 trade-in once I've watched a few because, like I say, just classic, right? And then that takes me to what is the best find since the Wii U find. So this is a Lego set. Now, the first things to look out for, right, is the box is in very good condition. There's a bit of tape on it, but I think I'll be able to remove it. Being a fan of Lego, I'm on quite a lot of adult Lego Facebook groups and that kind of thing. So to an extent, I know what is sought after, sets that have been retired, that kind of thing. And this is definitely one of those. So this is part of the botanical collection. There's quite a few botanical sets that have been released, like plants. I actually own one. I bought Mrs. RG, the orchids, I believe. I actually had it in here until she stole it back off me. She can't have stolen it, right? It's hers, but she took it back off me. But this is the rarest of all the botanical range. This is the most sought after. This is the most expensive. It actually had a, what do you call it? A post-it note stuck to it which said fully complete. All the pieces kind of thing. So, nice. And that is the Birds of Paradise Lego set. Now, in this condition, you're looking at probably over £100. I remember like having a quick look at the sold listings. This set without the box goes for a lot of money. Fully complete box, really nice. Like I say, no dents, no scratches. There's a little bit of tape where whoever had it probably took it to the charity shop, which I'm sure I can probably get off. But like I say, a very sought after set. A lot of people go for the full botanical set. I've seen loads of adult collectors that have got like shelving set up with all the different Lego plants. And like I say, this is the one that's the most sought after. So to find this in this condition, absolute awesome find. And all in all, like with this, the Only Fools and Horses box set that they're selling for almost £30, there's roughly 150 quid value. I paid £15 for everything. The way that happened was I picked up the Lego and I picked up the 2 games, and she just said to me, give me a tenner for the lot. Now, the games usually sell for like £1.95 each, so that for me puts this at like £6, right? And then I found the Only Fools and Horses box set after, and she said, oh, just give me a £5 for that. So £15 for roughly £150 of value, but to me it'll be £14 trade-in for the Only Fools and Horses, 2 PlayStation 1 games for my collection, and a set that will most likely end up on eBay at some point when I get around to it. Yeah, just nice, right? When you have those moments. That's why you should always pop into your charity shops every opportunity you get. And it came at the back end of, as I say, going into shop after shop after shop in Bromsgrove, which pretty much had nothing, right? I bought a couple of games, which, let's be honest, I could take them or leave them. And then to find that on the way home, yeah, man, absolutely buzzing with that. And we've had some real nice additions this week. So I think it's time for a montage, right? Let's do it. Always my favourite part of the week, right? Post montage, when the room is looking clean and fresh. And I wanted to take this opportunity at the beginning of the year, first vlog of the year, right, to talk about goals, collecting goals for 2024. Now, the reason I've come outside is, firstly, it's an absolutely beautiful day, but also this is where a lot of the work's going to be done this year. So I want to be doing loads more work out here in the gym. I want to put a roof on here. I think we're going to go the whole way across with the roof, add some more equipment, get it all cleaned up. But as you can see here with Batman, I've sort of been dubious as to whether to add more artwork to this wall, because I just don't want to draw too much attention to the outside of the property. But what I think I'm going to do is have like a full Street Fighter mural against that fence that only I can really see whilst I'm working out, right? So yeah, that's one of the goals for this year, right, is to really get the gym exactly how I want it. And now I want to talk to you guys about video game collecting goals. So goes without saying, I want as many Super Nintendo games as possible, right? Obviously we're going for a full set, but the goal is obviously not to complete the set this year. It's never going to happen, but to add more big hitters. So I've been fortunate enough in 2023 to have some real nice additions. We're looking at Final Fight 2, Sunset Riders, Sky Blazer, Maximum Carnage. We've been fortunate enough to get for good prices that I've been happy to add to the collection, and that's the sort of level of games that I want to continue to add going into 2024. Also, similar to with the Mega Drive, I would like to get the subset of shmups completed. It's going to be very difficult with the Super Nintendo because the ones I don't already own are very difficult to attain. They're often German exclusives, I think, only released in certain European countries, and if you take it to eBay, very expensive plus postage. It should be a bit easier on the Mega Drive side of things. There's not that many left, I don't think, in the shmup Mega Drive set. Only a couple of expensive ones. The rest are sort of, you know, there's a couple that are in the £40–50 range, so somewhat affordable over the course of a year, right? So that's two subsets that I really want to get completed next year. Nintendo Switch, we're just going to continue to add as many as we can, right? Especially sort of modern retro. Xbox 360, I'm really enjoying collecting for the 360. Obviously I want to get the full Pro Evolution Soccer set completed. That shouldn't be too much of a hardship. I'm just hoping I can do it in person. But there's a lot of collector's editions, right? These sort of like bigger box pieces that I want to keep adding. I just want to make this display look as good as possible. And yeah, there's a couple of 360 collector's editions that I'm keeping my eye on, right? I'm keeping abreast of the pricing. I just think they'll be great additions to that collection. PlayStation 3 Essentials. Now, it would be easy for me to stand here and say I want to complete the PlayStation 3 Essentials set, but I'm not in a rush. Again, I want to do it in person. I'm a quarter of the way-ish there, and I keep seeing the same ones in stores, so I don't necessarily going to say I'm going to finish it this year. I'm not in a rush to finish it. As and when I find them is when I add to them. But I'd probably guess that I'll at least double the size of that collection next year. And Nintendo Wii, another console I'm really enjoying collecting for. I'm going to focus more on the big box stuff. Not big box, but you know what I mean. Any rare slip covers. We've added Pandora's Tower, which I'm really happy to add. I'd like to add The Last Story, those kind of slightly bigger boxed items. That's really where I want to be. And I think in terms of goals, like, that's pretty much it, right? Other than that, we'll just do what I always do. Go out hunting, and if I see something that I like and it's a good price and we can hustle and wheel and deal towards it, then I'll add it to my collection. And yeah, that's pretty much the plan in terms of the collection for 2024. In terms of the room, I'm happy with how it is right now, but there's definitely a couple of jobs. There's a couple of real big jobs that hopefully we can get to this year just to make this room even better. But obviously that's something we'll discuss in future vlogs, but really happy with where the room's at. So it's just going to be little tweaks and then a couple of big changes, which yeah, like I say, we'll get to down the line. And I think that is pretty much going to do it for this week's Ghetto vlog. And yeah, a week filled with hunting, finding good stuff, so you know it's been a good week as far as I'm concerned. And as I said at the start of the video, guys, please make sure you tune into Wednesday. I'm really excited to get this video out. It's going to be a lot of work. I think the next couple of days now are probably going to be sleepless nights for me, because There's a lot of video footage to go through, a lot of editing to be done to get this video out to you guys on Wednesday. So make sure you don't miss it. The best way to do that is, if you're not subscribed, please do so. And if you are subscribed, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will make you aware as and when that video goes live. But as always, many thanks for watching. Play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you on Wednesday in a bit.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah.
Lock into the retro ghetto.